Since you're here, did that girl fuck your baby daddy?
Or did he just trick on her?
Oh, Lord.
Because you said Ben. You said Ben.
Jada has been quiet for too long because since season 1 of Impact, she's been clocking that shade. Check on y'all BDs. What exactly do you mean by that? Are you messing with my BD or not? All they did was gaslight Jada on that show. That whole animosity cover-up was BS.
So it turns out the rumors were true all along. Ari Fletcher really did get involved with Lil Baby behind Jayda Cheaves' back, and now Jada is finally telling her side. According to Jada, Ari did not just cross a line with her child's father, she also played close friend for months, smiling in her face while quietly making Jada look paranoid and jealous to everyone watching. What shocked people even more was how Ari handled the situation once it started coming out. Instead of staying quiet, she leaned into the attention. She claimed taking Lil Baby from Jada was easy and said she would do it again without hesitation. Ari made it clear she believes she is the better woman and feels no obligation to Jada at all. It left people asking how a friendship could turn that cold, because the situation came off far more calculated than expected. Most people remember when Jada and Ari were genuinely close. They were real friends before things slowly fell apart. At one point, they were inseparable. They were constantly together, laughing, hanging out, and even letting their children spend time with one another.
If a bitch don't like me right now, word to your mama, you're gonna hate me this year. Bitches is gonna be manifesting up on me the way I'm on some shit.
But behind the scenes, Ari was allegedly pursuing Lil Baby while he was still with Jada, all while another woman, Tatiana Chanel, was also involved at the time. Jada had no idea at first, but once she noticed certain behavior and started suspecting sneaky links, she did not confront Ari or cause a scene. She simply pulled back and removed herself quietly. By the time both women appeared on the show, Impact ATL, they were no longer close. Ari spoke about Jayda acting distant and claimed she did not understand why. Jada kept her composure and avoided directly exposing anything. She only hinted at the issue during a private conversation with her family, explaining that Ari had sent messages to her close friends, telling them to check on their baby daddies. Jada did not imagine the message being aimed at her. When she finally addressed it, Ari quickly flipped the narrative and labeled Jada as insecure, acting as if she would never move that way towards someone she considered a friend. When the show aired, Jada took the heat. Social media dragged her, accusing her of being jealous and saying she could not relate the way Ari could. The backlash became overwhelming, to the point where Jada stepped away from the show. Still, she stayed quiet and waited for the right moment to speak her truth. When that moment came, Jada confirmed that nothing said about Ari and Lil Baby was a lie, and that their involvement had been happening for quite some time. When questioned again, she doubled down and stated she had too much money to lie or risk being sued for defamation. Things became even messier when people pointed out that Ari has been publicly connected to Moneybagg Yo since 2019. That sparked conversations about whether the relationship was open or if Ari was allegedly moving behind her partner's back. As the allegations spread, Ari tweeted that people wanted the old version of her, then teased going live. When she finally did, she avoided addressing the accusations and focused on promoting her brand instead. Many viewers felt dismissed. Online reactions quickly shifted to the belief that silence meant there might be truth to the claims. Ari is usually quick to clap back, but this time she did not. Meanwhile, Jada and her sister Jasmine were waiting, prepared to respond if Ari spoke up. Jasmine later confirmed they had receipts and were ready to put everything on the table. Jada and her team were fully prepared to speak out, but Ari did not even have to jump in at first because Super Peach suddenly stepped up to defend her. Super Peach dropped what she claimed was major tea, saying that Jada had once taken Lil Baby from her friend Emily. According to her, this whole situation was just karma, with Ari allegedly giving Jada the same energy she once gave someone else. Not long after that, Emily came forward and backed up Super Peach's claims, saying the story was true. That is when things started to spiral fast. But Jada's sister Jasmine shut the whole narrative down immediately and did not hold back at all. Jasmine called out the claims as messy and misleading, saying people needed to stop spreading stories that were not accurate. She explained that there was never a real relationship there to begin with. According to Jasmine, Emily was aware of what was going on and had already given permission for Lil Baby to deal with other people because he was not serious about her.
That way, now that I'm on Accutane, I'm good. It's like I'm not purging. Them rumors are true. No shade. That's been going on. That's been a thing.
Jasmine also added that the timeline being pushed did not make sense, pointing out that Lil Baby had been involved with someone else before Emily, who was still her friend afterward. Jasmine made it clear that people were trying to rewrite history to save face, and she questioned where anyone's standards were if they were suddenly trying to shame Jada while ignoring everything else that happened. Her response shifted the conversation and stopped a lot of the noise before it could grow bigger. Still, the back and forth gave Ari even more confidence. After seeing others throw shade at Jada, Ari eventually spoke up herself and admitted, in her own words, that she did what she did. She confirmed it openly. At first, Ari had tried to keep everything quiet because she did not want another controversy attached to her name, especially after past public criticism involving a married man. But once the story was already out, she chose to own it instead of denying it. Now everything is out in the open, and there is nowhere left to hide. Ari is saying she would do it again because, in her words, she and Jada were never real friends. She claims it was just an online connection and says Jada should not expect loyalty where none existed. Still, the internet is not buying that explanation at all. To most people, it looks like Ari is scrambling to save face now that everyone sees how messy the situation really was. This whole thing is a reminder to be careful about judging people you do not actually know. A lot of viewers admitted they believed Jada was just jealous of Ari at first. Looking back now, that conversation about Ari and close friends on Impact makes a lot more sense. When someone you trust is dealing with the same person behind the scenes, the signs usually add up eventually. Some people are even saying that Jada represents everything Ari wants to be, from hosting opportunities to business ventures like skincare and beauty, all the way down to her history with Lil Baby. The key difference is that Jada has built her own success quietly. She has her own income, stays focused on her brand, and does not stay loud on the internet chasing attention. People also started pointing out the pattern in Ari's past behavior. She had no problem embarrassing Tiana publicly whenever she got the chance. But when Cardi B and Jada questioned similar situations involving their children's fathers, Ari suddenly went silent. That contrast did not go unnoticed, and it only made people question her moves even more. At this point, the narrative Ari is pushing is not landing the way she might have hoped. Saying there was never a real friendship sounds convenient now, especially when so many moments from the past show otherwise. People remember the photos, the shared spaces, the time spent together, and the way the bond was presented publicly. Calling it an internet-only connection feels like a rewrite meant to soften the blow rather than an honest reflection of what happened. The internet tends to have a long memory, and once screenshots, clips, and timelines start circulating, it becomes harder to convince people that nothing was real. What really shifted public opinion was how confident Jada stayed while everything was unfolding. Instead of rushing online to defend herself, she stayed quiet and let the situation reveal itself.
This is my program. This is my program. I'm on my time. And I told y'all that last year. And I told y'all that this year. This is my shit. Anyway. And secondly, oh my God, y'all are so nosy. I can't even read. Y'all, we just at a remedy shoot. We is having a good old, grand old time.
That calm approach made people revisit earlier moments they brushed off before. Conversations that once seemed random now look intentional. Comments that felt harmless suddenly feel loaded with meaning. When someone has been sensing something is off for a long time, their reactions start to make sense once the full picture comes together. There is also a bigger conversation happening about comparisons between Ari and Jada. A lot of people are pointing out that Jada moves differently. She focuses on her business, keeps her lifestyle more private, and does not rely on constant online drama to stay relevant. She has built a brand that stands on its own, separate from who she dates. Ari, on the other hand, has often been loud online, quick to argue, and comfortable clapping back at anyone who challenges her. That contrast has become more noticeable as this situation plays out. Another reason this story keeps growing is because people are starting to connect patterns from the past. Ari has had no issue calling out other women publicly when she felt crossed, especially in situations involving men. But when similar energy was directed back at her by women with their own platforms and credibility, the response was silence or deflection. That selective response raised eyebrows.
You even was friends with a bitch. The white girl, Emily, she was your friend, then you fucked baby, so that karma hitting that ass. So bitch, you wanna cut some room and let's cut them dirty ass.
People expect consistency, and when it is missing, trust starts to fade. In the end, this is not just about one relationship or one friendship. It is about accountability, honesty, and how people move when the spotlight is no longer flattering. As everything settles, one thing is clear. This situation was never just about a man. It exposed how blurred the lines can get when friendships, fame, money, and public image all mix together. People watched this play out in real time and started questioning not only who was right or wrong, but how much of what they see online is actually real. The polished photos, the smiling interviews, the supportive comments all look different once the truth starts peeking through the cracks. When loyalty is treated as optional, relationships turn transactional, and eventually someone ends up hurt. What also stood out was how silence spoke louder than any statement. Jada's decision to step back instead of rushing to clear her name changed how people viewed her. In a space where oversharing is the norm, restraint can look like confidence. She did not need to convince the internet of anything because the timeline did the work for her. The more others talked, the clearer it became why she chose to walk away quietly when she did. Sometimes distance is not weakness, sometimes it is self-protection. This ending also sparked a deeper conversation about accountability. Saying you do not owe anyone loyalty may sound bold, but it does not erase the impact of your actions. People are not just reacting to what happened, they are reacting to how it was handled. Owning something means more than admitting it happened. It means acknowledging who was affected and how trust was broken. Without that, any explanation sounds hollow. The internet has become more aware of performative honesty, and people are quicker to call it out when it shows up. Another layer people cannot ignore is how public backlash works. For years, certain personalities have benefited from controversy without facing real consequences. This time felt different. Viewers were not entertained. They were disappointed. That shift matters. It shows that audiences are growing tired of drama that hurts real people, especially when children and families are indirectly involved. Even when names are famous, emotions are still real, and the fallout does not disappear once the trend fades. In the end, this story leaves behind more questions than answers. Can public figures move through private relationships without turning them into content? Can friendships survive when competition and ego get involved? And can accountability exist in a space that rewards chaos? What people take away from this depends on their perspective, but the lesson is still there. Protect your peace, move carefully, and remember that how you treat people when no one is watching will always matter more than how you explain it later. As the internet moves on to the next headline, the individuals involved will still be left dealing with the consequences. The cameras may turn away, but trust once broken is hard to rebuild. This moment will follow them, not because people want drama, but because it became a reminder. Fame does not cancel responsibility, and silence does not always mean guilt, but patterns always tell a story.